You're welcome back. And here is Samson's take. Police can arrest and they can search without a warrant. I'm giving this education very briefly for good reason. Political communicators and commentators are politicians. It doesn't serve our collective interest to miseducate the public. I'm showing you a comment by one politician recently. He said, if you dare, I quote him, I will shoot to death anyone who raids my home without a warrant. MPP Vice Chairman. You know what? He may not be a lawyer, but he has heard some people who he expects to know. And because of their comments and posture, he feels emboldened. He's miseducated. We have heard a former defense minister, for example, insist that an officer told him that his face represents a warrant, so he did not need to show a warrant. And he went mad at that. What we need to identify is who was this officer? If that officer was a police officer of the rank of assistant superintendent under law, generally, he has a right to conduct a search in anybody's home, on anybody's person, without a warrant. Of course, it is limited by law. But to suggest that without a warrant, the security service officers, so authorized by law, with the powers of police, cannot conduct a search without a warrant, is miseducation, and very big miseducation that we must avoid. When it comes to arrest, the police officer does not need to be of any rank, really. Once they have a certain suspicion, or that a crime has been committed, or that it is being committed, or that a crime is actually being committed in their face, they have a right to arrest without a warrant. The Special Office of Special Prosecutor has these same powers. Office of the Economic and Organized Crime Office have these same powers. Once they are authorized by the right officers, they can do these things. They will not need a warrant to do them under limited circumstances. In fact, you as a private citizen can effect an arrest, of course, without a warrant. Once a crime is being committed in your face, except you are supposed to ensure that you hand over the accused person or the suspect immediately to a police officer. If you don't find a police officer, hand them over to the nearest police station. Let no one miseducate you. It doesn't serve our individual and collective purpose for our protection to say that I will shoot to kill if you came to me without a warrant. That is wrong. It's miseducation. You know what? You're entitled to resist arrest lawfully. There's a lawful way to resist an arrest. Article 14 begins with it very clearly. If you are being arrested, the person must tell you they are a police officer or that they are such an officer of the law enforcement. In fact, officers of the Attorney General have the power of arrest. A state attorney under law, someone of the rank of a state attorney under law, has the power to even effect an arrest. So let's learn about this and not allow political commentators, ignorant people, to unnecessarily miseducate us, to imperil our own collective security. You have a right to resist an arrest, and our courts have said so, but that is only on a matter of procedure, when a procedure has been breached. Not that you feel that what they are seeking to arrest you, you have not committed the offense. Or that they are arresting you, you think, yes. You cannot say you are resisting arrest on that basis. You can only resist an arrest on the basis that the procedure is wrong, not on the substantive issue. And what's the procedure? Article 14. They must tell you, the offense that you have committed for which they are arresting you or detaining you or restricting your movement. And they must tell you in a language that you understand, or get someone else to interpret and speak to you. They must tell you of your rights to remain silent. Otherwise, anything you say will be used against you in the court of law. They must tell you your right to a lawyer of your own choice. If they don't do these things, in Asante versus the Republic, and before that, in Christie versus Lichensky, we have been educated in the law that you have a right to resist the arrest because of failure to follow procedure. So let us all be educated. The police and the persons with police powers can arrest without a warrant, and those of a certain rank, superintendent of police, or under the direction of the director or deputy director of the IOCO or of the special prosecutor, can search you without a warrant under limited circumstances. You can only attempt to use your gun license in self-defense when you are being killed. That's the only circumstance that you can raise that as a defense. And that's my take. We'll be right back.